that. I'm just like, wait a minute. She came here to see Jen, so I should bug her off.
Let's go shoot guns. Yeah, I
But
guess we should give, I guess we should give anyone that's listening, some context. Like, you and I met in Toronto, um, about 25 years ago. I th
yeah,
at the Toronto Airport Vineyard Church, which I've talked about before. Um, and our families kind of we spent a lot of time together because I don't think I actually met you until I started working for your brother, right? At
yeah, I
Varsity
think so.
Fence.
I think so. No, I think we. I can't remember. Can't remember actually. I think we might have hung out before then. I think maybe what might have been friends maybe for a couple months before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we worked
But
all day fencing in this crazy Toronto heat, and I tell my kids this story, like, "Yeah, I used to work with this guy, and it was so hot." He would wear a Speedo and a tool belt on his front and water shoes, so from the front, it looked like he was naked fencing because you had the tool belt on.
oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm always trying to get back to Eden, I guess. oh,
Tho
that's
those are
funny.
I don't know if you like, how many kids do you have?
Two. Yeah, I've got an 18-year-old son. His name's Lauren, and my
Okay,
daughter's she's 16, and her name's Angelina.
cool. I always
Yeah.
tell my you find your dad always like, "When I was a kid, we used to work so blah, blah, blah." And then do you kind of recognize that you do that? I do that now. Like, when my kids complain about stuff, I'm
Yeah.
like, we used to dig holes in, like, 40 degrees,
Yeah, we
major hu
did.
dude, we used to work freaking hard in that weather.
Oh, yeah, and my body's is reaping the consequences of that now. It's yeah, like I can't do push-ups, regular push-ups. I have to do it with my fists on the ground instead of my hands, because I can't bend my wrists. Stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was pre-nail gun, right? I don't know if you had after I left, you guys got nail guns, but we just all with a nail and a hammer,
Yeah,
miles
you're
and
like
miles of fencing.
Stone Age, man. Stone Age. Yeah, I always say that I worked like a Hebrew slave. Like I
You
felt like a Jew in Egypt, man. It was oh yeah.
Where's Moses?
But
Where's Moses when you need him? Oh,
but we
your
looked good.
brother
I
was
mean,
the oh, yeah, we look hot.
yeah, I mean in August, I mean that was the best time to take a picture. I mean, heck, we were chiseled in August, man. Holy Jesus.
I
Yeah.
have a photo of all of us flexing.
Oh, really? Oh, you got
Yeah.
you got to send that to me, man.
Yeah, I got it somewhere.
See, guys, this is how I used to look.
Yeah, like,
uh,
your brother was pretty cheap. He'd buy the cheapest tools. That truck
yeah.
that we drove was so friggin' dangerous, that yellow truck that I painted blue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I've never met anybody with a work ethic like you. Probably even to this day, I'll never forget the hours that you put into that business. So it's just like, oh my God, yeah, your work ethic is second to none, man. I'm sure you haven't changed.
No, I haven't. It's probably the biggest, like, challenge in my life is to temper my work ethic. Like, with kids and yeah, I just have a hard time stopping. And it's kind of like this creativeness that I have. Like, I think was Varsity Fence because for those who don't know, we in Toronto, they would build a subdivision. They would grass the middle of the subdivision, and then the contractors would walk away, and then it was left up to the homeowner to put a fence between them and their neighbor. So we would go and sell fencing, and then came with a whole crew all summer and just put fences up in these massive subdivisions. So your brother who owned the business took me on as a as a partner one year. And once I got the bug of closing a deal, it was like an addiction, man. And I would knock on people's doors at like 11 o'clock at night and feel no shame, you know? And I just loved closing. Like, and I think Brent was like, bro, you got to slow down. We don't have enough people to do all the fences that you sold. And I think
Yeah, I think yeah,
we had to get two crews going.
yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
would just
man.
go
Yeah,
door to door to door. And for me, it was such an easy sell because you'd sell one person on the if there was 25 houses, you just sell one person right in the middle. And then you go to the neighbor and he'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do it. And then you just say, well, your neighbor's doing it. And they'd kind of like to share their half of the fence with you. Oh, I guess I need to do it then. And then you just keep going. And after a while, everyone has to be in because they don't want to be the odd one out that doesn't chip in for the fence.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. And yeah,
yeah,
and from that, like, I mean, heck, we worked with guys like Paul LaFrance and Jim Medvedeck and Pat Burden, and they're all on HGTV. You know, like Paul
I know.
LaFrance as well. Yeah, Paul LaFrance, and it's like you and I, we actually
Taught him how to
trained
do
Paul.
it. I know. Do you remember when he cut his hand and I'm just like, rub some dirt in it?
Yeah,
he never he never forgave me for that. He's like, oh, bro, and
yeah.
there's like blood pouring out his hand. I'm like, Josh, rub some dirt in it. Let's keep on going.
Oh yeah, you were tough, man. You were so tough. And no, we had a lot of fun, even though it was hard work. And you know, it's I'm sitting in a house. I've lived here for 19 years, and it's all because of that business. You know, like a lot of people left university and college and had, you know, some of them at 50 are still paying off their debt. And I left university with a savings because of that business. So yeah, I'm very grateful, and that's why I'm sitting here now. You know, just because of the money that I made. I think I made like 60,000. I saved $60,000 in my
Yeah.
20s, and then I put it down on the house when I was in my late 20s. So
So after
yeah,
I
so that,
left, you carried on selling and you kind of moved up, right? Into managing the business.
yeah, 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 and then it just things got weird, and it was the time to change to follow my career, and so I've been a social worker now for 27 years.
Oh,
I've worked
cool.
done a lot of work with brain injuries and stuff. Yeah.
Really, eh? Do you like it?
Love it. Yeah, like they say, a social worker burns out in 5 years, and I've been in 27 years, and so I guess in life and anything that you do, you have to have some good, you know, self care and stuff like that, right? But so now, yeah, I worked at a brain injury facility for 19 years, and then they fired me, and I sued them and won, and then I'm running my own business as an RSW, a rehab support worker now. And so
Huh.
now I just collect clients from like 6 different agencies, and I keep the ones that I like.
That's cool. So brain injury, like concussions or
I'm working
more
with my
serious?
main client. My main client now has Alzheimer's,
Oh,
and
okay.
so my job is to engage physically and cognitively. So we'll play cribbage for cognitive, and then we'll do a session of aquafit. So I teach aquafit in a pool. Yeah,
Sweet.
or yeah, yeah, and he's one of the richest guys in Canada, and we've got the same sense of humor, and we're sarcastic, and it took a while to cultivate that relationship, but we're there now, and he's taken me to Barbados in the wintertime, and I get to do all that stuff in Barbados with him.
Dude, that's killer. You just play
Yeah,
cribbage and do aquafit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, Alzheimer's, there's bursts of rage, and there's you know, you're always managing behaviors and stuff. It's not as nice as it sounds sometimes, but I'd say most of the time it is as nice as it sounds. So it's it's a pretty good job, you know, like all considering we worked as Hebrew slaves not too long ago, and now I'm following my passion, and you know, it feels pretty good to put all that work into school and all that time into my field, and to actually just be loving what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. And you've never
But
really, and as far as like the church and man, so much time has passed. I mean, I remember you and I getting off work and you had a maple. Well, actually, you took me to my first hockey game.
did I really?
Well, I'm from like England. I didn't know what was going on. We went to the Maple Leaf Gardens before, I guess it's torn down now or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I couldn't see the puck. I don't know what was going on. I remember I got a photo of me painted. We painted our faces like maple
Oh
leaves.
my god, do you have any of those old photos, man? I would
Yeah,
love to
yeah,
see those again.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I'll have to dig them up. But I've got photos of you and me getting ready for going to Maple Leafs game. And I remember we just spent a lot of time together because we'd work all day and then go home, shower. You come pick me up, and we go to some bar and have beers and listen. I remember Sheryl Crow
Oh, I love
and
her.
Supertramp.
Super
Your
tramp.
body well, right? Remember you
You're
went and
right.
watched Supertramp?
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
And
I
then this one pub had sumo wrestling. Remember they had the
that was
sumo suits?
it's one of my favorite memories of my life, let alone with you. Like it's like it was so much fun. Oh my god. We
Huge.
we would we would we would have a couple pints, eat some wings, and just like get at her.
Yeah. They they blow you up in the sumo suit, and you can't whether you just kinda fall on each other.
And they closed it down because I think some
Liability.
guy was must have fell and hit his head on a curb or something like that because I think it only lasted a couple years. Yeah, I think somebody
Huh.
must have had an accident or something. But yeah, the good old Turtle Jacks, man, that was awesome.
Turtle Jacks.
I still drive by that place, and and I can't remember whether it's a Turtle Jacks now because I don't get too close just from whatever that street is here in Ontario. But yeah, man, I always think of us whenever I drive by there, and oh yeah, man, those were like it was just this actually almost seems too surreal. It almost feels like I'm dreaming right now because like I was hanging out with your sister a couple nights ago, and then I'm with you all in one weekend, and I haven't seen your sister in 18 years, and I haven't seen you in like 25 years. So it's like
Yeah.
it's good timing for me because I don't know, I don't know how much you want to get into on your podcast, but it's like,
Yeah, man,
man,
get into
I just
whatever.
I've just been ripped just with
Have you?
so many things, like a lot of relationships and a lot of different things, man. So just to see you, man, and just to be talking to you and just talking to somebody that I've known like some of the best years of my life, it just I don't know, it's comforting to me and it's actually
Right.
healing me as we speak. And I told that to Abby 2 nights ago and to my sister, and I said, like I just feel healed. I feel like something in myself is healing just for the time that we spent together, and
Hmm.
it was nice, and just talking with you now, and it's just like I don't know, it just life's been so crazy with relationships, and I've seen a lot of people come and go in my life, betrayal and all that stuff, and it's just like, man, it's just something comforting. Just it's hard to make new friends, and
Yeah.
so just yeah, I mean sorry the way we ended, but so I appreciate you forgiving me
I can't
and
remember how we
opening.
ended.
Neither can I
Um,
really, but I just
it wasn't
but
that good.
no, but it was just like kind of like I was like scared or something like that. My parents put this fear in me, and
Well,
then
I
I
think
was just out of
yeah, I think
fear, I
what
just stayed away.
yeah, I mean, to give people context, I we were at this church which was probably in the evangelical charismatic circles the biggest thing that was happening on the planet, right? The Toronto Airport Vineyard. For that kind of sect of or way of practicing religion, Christianity. And I got married to Allison, who was kind of up. She did all the sign language for the worship. She was, the darling of the church in a way, like, and I've talked about this before. I mean, I just had major red flags going into that marriage, and it didn't work out. Very quickly I realized it didn't work out. And I was yeah, excommunicated from the church because I left her. And I took ownership of what I did. I fell for another girl who was in the discipleship school. I mean, it was a shit show. I mean, Jen, who ended up being the mother of my oldest kids and married to for 10 years. And um, I mean, I knew when Allison was walking down the aisle that it was a bad idea. Like I remember seeing her at the top. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but because you were were you one of my groomsmen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember AJ being so mad at me because I had those transitional glasses. So I was wearing shades because we did photos outside, and she was so mad at me. and and and
I
and then
remember your
and then
glasses at the end of your nose all the time.
and then doing your photos, AJ was mad at me because we did sumo, like, a couple days before, and yet I
And you
gave you a
ripped my
black
lip.
eye
Yeah,
or your
yeah.
lip or something.
No, you ripped the skin off my lip. Oh, the wrath of AJ.
Oh, yeah, so it was like, yeah, I was never on good footing with AJ for, like, since day 1, so
Well, you and me were just trouble. I mean, we just egged
Oh,
each other on and got into so much, just did whatever went. But yeah, I
yeah,
remember. So
yeah, we were wild. We still are, I think. Mm,
yeah, we got to get together again. But yeah, that wedding was doomed from the start, and I knew it. And she refused to see it. I think that I haven't talked to AJ since then, but I'm sure she realizes now that the signs were all there. I mean, I
yeah.
remember standing on the beach because we were at Muskoka, beautiful her parents' or her grandparents' cabin, standing on the beach with me and AJ the night before our wedding, and I just took off down the beach. I just ran as hard as I could run,
Right.
and I mean that would have been a red flag to anybody. Like, hang on a second, something's not right here. My husband's just ran away from me, my husband to be, and I remember feeling this like force behind me of like shackles coming off, and just all I could hear is just run. And it felt like I was just running into the and then just came flooding in. Like, my parents have flown over, all these people are here, so much work has gone into it, you're gonna break AJ's heart. And I stopped on the beach and I turned around and I remember saying this to myself, I think you can fake it for 40 years. And I turned around and went back, and when she stood at the top of the aisle, it was because we got married in the forest, and John Onart was there, and Kim Unruh married us, and Jeremy Sinnott, the whole crew were there, right? And I remember seeing her standing at the top, and I remember saying in my heart to myself, "Oh my God, like I'm not like super excited right now." And then you go through all emotions, and the wedding night was just rough, and I remember just staring out the window, thinking, "Shit, 40 years seems like a long time," you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then there was a discipleship school at the church, and Jen was there, and she was just feisty, fiery, fun loving, and I fell head over heels for her. And it was just unbelievably. I mean, I understand that Kim and all the leadership, the position they were put in, because the world was watching that church. It was on television. I was
Yeah,
leading
yeah, yeah.
worship. I was youth pastoring, I think, and leading worship and doing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, there's this scandal, and so um, they kicked me out, right? And then they told all you guys to not talk to me anymore. But you guys all worked under me at Varsity
Yeah.
Fence.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember seeing everyone huddled up and talking as we were clamming holes. We used to just remember the clamming,
Oh, yeah. That was hell.
and I remember you used to walk across the yard with your Speedos on, just dragging the clam on the floor. You wouldn't even pick it up. You just dragged it like it was like a lamb to slaughter, and then throw it in the first hole, and it would hit a rock or something. Tink! You're like,
Oh,
"Dude."
oh, man.
It was like the salt mine.
I remember you show up 8:39, whatever it was, and you have 300 holes, and it's like 30 degrees at 9 AM, and you're just
Yeah.
like, "How the hell am I gonna do this?" And so some customers would come out and bring shots, and then we'd knock them back. We're like, "Woohoo!" You know? We're like, "Bora
Yeah, yeah,
bora,
yeah.
let's get at it, boys."
Or you'd put the
But
whole hose over you, and you'd be dry in like 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. I drink like 5, 6 liters of water a day and take 1 piss, you know? It was like crazy, man. You just sweat everything out.
And then
Yeah,
and
and
then
I think that's why we were so chiseled by August, and we must have been so
remember
healthy too.
getting rid of the dirt. We would just kind of find a spot, and it was always a bit sketchy. We just like, well, I guess we're dumping it here. And all of a sudden, there's this mountain of soil.
Always looking backwards, like, is there any cops? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think one time I sold I sold a fence job. It was the end of the 401 or something, and there was nowhere to dump the soil, so we had to put it in bins. Do you remember that? And so we
Oh,
got these,
yeah.
and we built these ramps, and it was just starting to be fall, so the rain started coming, and so the dirt was
Oh,
heavy,
yeah.
and you'd have
Oh
to
my god.
run. There's a 2 by 8 plank going up into an 80-yard bin, so quite a lot of height, and you just stand there and just evil Knievel it up this ramp and hope to God if you stop if you stopped halfway, the wheelbarrow was just getting dumped all over the road.
Oh,
I
it
remember I remember Mark Rousseau, and
oh,
he was such an Eeyore. He'd be like, "I can't believe we're working in the rain. Let's just go home." And I remember saying to him, I remember saying to everybody, "You just get wet once, guys. Have fun doing it. Just have fun and just start
yeah.
singing." And they looked at me like I was from Mars.
Oh, the things that we did, man, I swear. I'm surprised that you and I can walk. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'm still
Yeah.
doing it. And so anyway, going back to that story, so yeah, I had to get excommunicated from the church, and then I think everyone was told, "Don't interact with Joby. We're gonna give him the cold shoulder until he comes back. That's how we're gonna win him back." So you were put in a tough spot because I was
It
the
it
black sheep, and
I don't I don't think we had a wall there at work. I think for me, it was more about my parents, and, I was pretty immature. You were wise beyond your years, and, your sister was too. And, no, you guys were, and I was still a homeboy, and I didn't have any, confidence on my own 2 feet, and you did, and it's like and I feel bad. I feel bad, and, that, because, being 50 years old now, you realize how important a good friend is. You don't realize how important that is because it's
yeah.
pretty rare, and you're just like, "Man, I really fucked up, man." So yeah. So I was just more about the fear of my parents and just, kinda just pleasing them instead of doing what was right.
Yeah,
So
I think that the Mallets were a pain in the ass to your parents because you and Abigail kind of were pretty fond of each other, and
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah, we were.
your dad didn't approve, right? Because she was a British citizen. I think he kinda as far as I remember, I think he was accusing her of, like, trying to weasel her way into Canada or something like that through you or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's
And
what it was, yeah.
I remember when I heard that, feisty old me remember I had this old, Chrysler, car, had Porsche sprayed on the back, but I couldn't spell properly because 'cause I'm dyslexic, so it said Porsh. And I remember driving, AJ was in the car, Abigail was in the car, I was in there, and I beelined it for your dad's house. And your dad's a fairly intimidating fellow. And pulling up on the driveway, and your mom comes out, and she knew what was going on because there was this accusation, like, you were basically told that you can't have this friendship with Abigail that was turning into something more than that.
Yeah.
And your mom comes running out of the house, and she's like, and I was fuming because I was protective over my sister. And she's like, just like, don't go inside. Just drive. It's okay. Like, I know that he's a bit, and she was kind of like standing in the gap, really. But I was ticked off because I've always
Yeah.
struggled with intimidation because I think as a kid I got pretty pushed around in school. And the one thing that I'm not a fighter, but the one thing that gets under my skin is when someone talks down to me or someone you know what I mean? That kind of like
Yeah.
that it always like triggers me. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
hate that too. Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
so
I'm
then it
glad
was
that you
like
didn't have that
Abigail and then me.
conversation.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, man, we're 2 free spirits, man, and, I've, that's never changed, right? Like, I rode a motorcycle for 20 years, and I've got guns, and just all about freedom, man, and it's like, why are we here? Why are we in this life, Like, if we're not connecting with people, and if we're not being transparent and open, if we're not living our dreams and passions, like, what the hell are we getting up in the morning for? It's like
It's
That's
weird,
never
right?
changed. It
When you
never will change, you know?
Yeah, when you turn 50, I think about this all the time. I don't know what it's like for you. Like, I've also struggled with, you said betrayal, like, it's probably the biggest wound. If a therapist was gonna sit down with me, the first thing we would hit is probably betrayal. Um, and
Mm.
obviously, when you look at my past with what I went through at Toronto, where all my friends walked away from me and turned their back on me, because they were told to, and I understand why, and I never really held it against them, but the damage was still there, right? Like, there's still a wound there, even though you might not kind of say poor me, poor me. It's the fact of the matter is, it's still a scar. Um, and you know, and that happened again throughout my life. Like, I got involved in another radical church movement and lost all my friends there as well. So it's happened multiple times. So betrayal for me, I can relate there, because it's friendship and betrayal has been really difficult. And then COVID for me personally, um, was like super put a finger on that nerve and just pushed it into the wound, because
Yeah.
so many of my friends did not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if those friendships will ever heal again, because COVID just was this huge dividing line that came between me and my friendship group.
Yeah,
Um,
same here, man. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I just lost, my best friend last, what was it? Last January, last February, and my son almost died in a car accident. And you know how, like, if something traumatic happens, most normal friends would say, like, "Oh, sorry that happened. Are you okay?" But my best friend said, I expected that," and I was like traumatized, you know. And so anyway, that just you mess with my kids, I lose it, and so I went to our favorite place, the forest, and we had a confrontation, and and everything that happened in the past between our friendship all came up, and he just couldn't handle it, and I wanted to work it out, and so we just went our own ways, and I'm still really affected by it. So yeah, man, betrayal is just like it's got to be one
why
of the
would he say
hardest
that?
things.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. I don't know why you would say that. You know, like lots of issues, man. Like he wanted a combination of my gun safe. He was, I think, lusting over my wife. There was just lots of issues underneath the bridge, and and then the whole thing happened with my son, and it's just like, you know, I was pretty fragile at the time, and I just snapped at him. So yeah. I don't know why you would say that. It was really. Can you swear on your podcast? It's pretty fucking
Yeah, you
weird.
can. You can swear, bro. Um, yeah, and then the older you get, it's hard to. I think that uh, naturally you put up protections, right? So for me, I guess I subconsciously would say I'm not going to make myself vulnerable again. And so because we're survivalists, right? That's what we do as humans. We are built to survive. And so if a bear swipes at you, the next time you see a bear, you stand a little further back. That's just the way we are. And I think if a friend betrays you, the next time you're faced with a potential friend, you kind of hold them at arm's reach. And um, yeah, ever since Toronto, and then because I got into music heavily, and so I was in a touring band, for probably 8 years, and wanted to have a career in music. And so we built this really deep friendships with all of these other bands that we toured with. And we would brag about the fact that we would be this unbroken circle of friends. We would get old together. We even had like a songbook that we built with all cover songs. And when we'd have campfires, we would, because these incredible musicians, we'd have these crazy sing-alongs. And we made this big book, and it had the picture of all of us on it. And there was probably about 15 of us. And we were just this unbreakable bond. But COVID came along, and it was like this sneaky devil that just weaved weaved in between our friendships, and it kind of, again, it was like added salt to the wound. And so now making friends is even harder now because now it's like you've been portrayed over and over and over again. Um, and I do often think of like old friends, like, my friendship with you and people, my friends in England, and just it felt like life, like those friendships were so simple. It was like laughter, music, adventure. It's
Yeah.
just simple. It's just simple. Like we enjoy each other's company. End of story. Let's go have
Yeah.
some fun. You know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then when you get older, it's like, oh, well, you don't have the same politics as I do. You don't really believe the same religion that I do, and all these other things seem to come into the mix and kind of muddy the waters. I kind of miss that youthful, simple simplicity.
Yeah. 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 I hear you, man. Yeah, that's the way life is supposed to be, right? Like all these things, get in the way, and it's just like I don't understand. Like just the fact that it's technology. I mean, technology is great. We wouldn't be able to see each other if it wasn't for technology. But it's like I find like sometimes I just tell my kids, I go, just staring at each other's eyeballs is better than being alone scrolling through whatever you're scrolling on your phone. And it's
Mm,
almost like we've lost the essence of what it means to honestly be alive, to exist, to connect with people, and it's like I find our generation okay because technology came, in our 30s maybe, but um but it's like I find kids, really struggling to carry a conversation longer than a half an hour, and it's like the social skills and the dumbing of us down by a government and the control that they want to instill on us. It's just, I don't know, it's just, crazy times, man, like, I'm just like, I
oh,
wonder where Joby I'm like, I wonder where Joby wants to go in his podcast, but, like, I'm willing to talk about anything, whether it's, like, control, surveillance, the vaccination, spiritual things, like, I'm an open book, and I don't give a shit.
no.
I was telling your sister 2 nights ago, I said there's something, an old line about Jews where 2 Jews are in a room, and there's 3 opinions, and I love that because it's like, what happened to conversation where you could be at odds, but just have respect, and it's just
Mhm,
call it conversation, man. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Like, why do we
mhm.
have to get offended, and why do we have to, put walls up and stuff like that? It's just like,
Well,
why
that's
can't we, you know?
yeah, that's by design, I think. I mean, social media by design has created divides, and it's done it. I mean, like I've heard Joe Rogan talk about this all the time. These bot farms, and their sole purpose is just to create division, just basically inflame fire, like gaslight people, and get people offended and pissed off because a country divided, a people divided, is a people you can control. A people that are with one mind
Yeah,
are people that will storm the gates, if you know what I mean. And so they
yeah,
know that to keep people down, suppressed, just keep them squabbling amongst themselves. It's funny you say that about technology because Tara and I were out on a date last night, which is bloody rare to go out on a date when you have kids,
yeah,
and we
likewise.
would. Yeah, I was I was saying, oh, Kyle and I are going to get together and chat, and she doesn't know any much about our friendship at all, and I was like, yeah, we used to listen to. I was telling her about. I remember just Sheryl Crow, like that album, and we'd listen, and I was like, man, you remember the day, like Spotify and iTunes and all of that has actually made me listen to less music, even though there's more available. I listen to less music now than I used to because for me, I just feel this sense of overwhelm with the amount of choice. It's like going to a restaurant and there's 5,000 things on the menu.
Yeah,
Please take
yeah,
me to a
yeah,
restaurant with 15. So you just
yeah,
narrow down the choice. And we would listen to CDs until they just didn't work anymore. And you get to know,
yeah,
like, and I said to Tara, I'm like, our kids don't know when they listen to a song. I start seeing the next song on the album because I've listened to the album so much. The next
yeah,
song
it's true.
but that doesn't happen anymore. You
Yeah,
just,
it's, I miss the CDs, man, like, I haven't purchased music and I can't remember how long because it's just I don't know.
there's just
Yeah,
so much that
like
it's like you almost just, I can't even look at it. It's like there's too many options, and I find myself skipping to the next song, skipping to the next song. Maybe there's a better one. Maybe there's a better one. And the discipline of just like, this is the only CD that's in your car, and there's nothing else going on. So you have to listen to the CD, and eventually you'll like it because it's all there is.
You know, it reminds me of the memory. The last time that I saw you, actually, I heard that you were playing in Toronto, and so I went down with Andrew Robinson, and man, the music that you created, I was just like, wow, man, like it was up there. And the way your music came out put me in a mood like I was listening to Limp Bizkit or Nirvana. You know how like there's musicians where they're just songs like Bryan Adams, but then you get into real emotion where it actually gets the audience emotionally involved. I
Mm.
think Limp Bizkit and Kurt Cobain knew how to do that, and you put me into that zone. And
No way.
anyway, yeah, I remember that, and so that was the last time that I saw you.
Huh. I
Yeah,
barely remember that. I remember Ian Dudgeon came out to a show.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and I was dying to like talk to you and stuff like that, and you were just busy. You know, you had to get rid of your equipment and had maybe head off to the next show. But yeah, I was just like, oh man, I so wanted to connect with Joby, man. I was like, oh man, oh well. But and then
Yeah.
life got going, and the ball didn't stop. It's like Indiana Jones, you know, at the that ball, you just keep running, just doing your thing on the rat race, and then
All of a
and
sudden
I
you're
mean,
50.
yeah, like I mean, heck, I'm working like 6 days a week now. I mean, the gravy's there, right? So I'm just trying to make as much money as I can because I mean, Monday, my client could say, you know what, I don't like you. You have a zit on your forehead. I'm fired, right? So it's just like you got to get the gravy while it's there. There's no job protection and stuff like that with what I do, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Life's a trip, man. I mean, life is a trip. That the music for me was actually my because that album, the first album that I wrote was called "Well Behaved and Working for You," which was like this kind of sarcastic statement because that's what the church was to me. It was like this overlording, controlling, you know, and it was a picture of a security camera on it,
nice,
and
nice,
and that whole album, like a lot of people thought I was singing about love and relationships. I wasn't. It was my therapy getting out of the hurt, the massive hurt that I had. And the whole
yeah, yeah,
first
yeah.
album was, people will make of the song whatever they want, right? They thought I was singing about a girl, but I was probably singing about God or something like that. Um, and it was good therapy because I sing those songs every night, and it helped me to flush it all out. Um,
Yeah, I mean that whole movement guided my career, right? And you know, the whole thing of separating church uh from logic and common sense and just trying to figure out, you know, who am I and is there life after death and then trying to fit into this place where called church where you're supposed to these are good people and then you realize that most of them are hypocrites. And it's just like it's been the story of my life where it's like I don't belong anywhere. You know, I don't belong in the church because you know, I'm too liberal, but I don't belong in whatever you want to call it in the world
because you're too
because I'm too
conservative.
spirit. No, no, I'm not. Well, I'm not conservative. I'm pretty wild, but I'm too spiritual. You know, like I'm
Mhm.
here. I'll throw a little monkey wrench into this podcast. I'm going to
Do it,
Israel in a
bro.
couple. I'm
Okay,
going to Israel in a couple weeks,
cool.
and it's like yeah, it's just like it's so cool, you know, to be in a place where you know I was taught all these stories and stuff like that, and then you're actually going to be there and make it tangible, you know, and it's just like, and I'm taking my family, right, and it's like it's a dream come true, you know, and I think life's about dreams, and I think I'm going to be in tears, you know, half the time,
So,
and really looking forward to it.
so your relationship with God has never really wavered. You've like your conviction on that whole thing has never really wavered.
No, because in a sense it hasn't. Church definitely has. Uh, but God, no, because I don't know. I just His presence. is still just as real as it was before. It's
Mhm.
better than any love I've ever felt from a woman. I connect with God emotionally. I actually feel His presence a little bit as I talk to you now,
Mhm.
and and it's just strange trying to walk this life and try and doing your best with the understanding that you have, and trying to fit in, and try and belong. And it's just like I just don't fit in anywhere. So now I'm 50. I've got a family. I've got $1 million family, but I've got all these friends around the globe, but I've got no local friends that I can hang out with. So I very much feel pretty alone a lot of the time. But so my faith is very important because that feeling that I feel when I connect with God helps take away that loneliness.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I would say my faith is very tangible. It's very, how emotional I am, and how the sense of touch is probably my love language. I'm very,
Mhm.
very sensual in that
Tactile.
sense where it's,
Mhm.
yeah, I just like, I'm a very emotional person, not unstable. Like I think I
Mhm.
have a good balance between logic and emotion, but I'm one of those weird guys that has no problem asking the question, "Hey, how's your heart?" I like getting into the deep things of life,
Mhm.
and just talking about whatever. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't
I
care in the sense
remember
where yeah.
yeah. I remember that about you. You wanted to, "How you feeling, man?" "Oh, I'm fine." "Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're feeling fine. Like, what's going on?" Like, you'd always probe.
Yeah,
Um,
that's me, man. That hasn't changed.
that's great. So,
So,
I mean, for me, I agree with you. Like, I can't explain to people, um, the my relationship with I don't know if I had to unframe everything, like God, Jesus, church. It was all this big hodgepodge, right? So I had to like disconnect it and almost like rename God in a way to be able to take the afterburn of what I'd been through off. So like
that makes
calling it
sense.
a creator or but, like you can't tell me that I haven't felt like I felt God. I've been physically healed by God or a God or go the this what entity, this thing. So, yeah, I've been super, super lonely in my life like you, and I felt that comfort of God, and I have a hard time understanding atheists that believe there's nothing there. Like, there's just too many miracles in life for me to deny that there's something bigger going on. Like,
Well,
there's just
I talked to your sister about this, and I
mm,
said, I go, because I've hung out with atheists like a lot, and one thing I love about atheists is that they've got a timeline from 0 to whatever age they die at. Let's just give it 80. And so they maximize their time and enjoy life to the max because they realize they only have so much time. Whereas Christians, they think they've got eternal life, and so they become these lazy
yeah, yeah,
asswipes who don't do
yeah,
fuck all with their life. And it's
yeah,
like it's like what? Like and they're afraid to love money because so they live these poor lives, right? And it's like
totally,
it's bad or evil to have money or wealth. It's like so fucking stupid. And it's
dude.
just like so I've
Yeah,
tried to like live in this conundrum, this line in between the church and Christians and atheists, and it's just like I have such a better time with atheists than I do with Christians because they've got a
100%.
cork stuck up their ass. It's like
Well, when I was in music, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, I remember talking on another podcast about like when I moved to Kamloops, which was this like almost cultic type of religion thing going on there. Like there was a leader, it was very, very damaging. And they thought they were preaching to the youth that we would all be martyred by the time we were 30, right? Because we were going to be martyred for the God for our faith. Because they thought this revival was coming. So every Sunday it was like sometimes it'd be like everyone has to. There's a memo that went out. Everyone's got to dress in green because revival's coming, and green's the color. And I mean, just it's just like making us jump through hoops, and just getting people in this hysteria. And so we just lived on the poverty line because we thought we were all going to be dead by the time we were 30. So fuck it, full send. Like just and now everyone's old and broke. you know. And there's just a lack of balance there, right? Um but I remember when I got into music, it was very secular. Like that was kind of music was my road to getting out and detoxing from all of it. And I met all of these bands because we were just immersed in music world, and there was no God talk at all. It was just very secular. And I felt way more loyalty in the friendships there. Like it was so healing for me. I mean, it's such a contrast. And I give this funny analogy. It's like I remember running out of gas in I think it was Toronto on the highway, and I called someone, and I think it was Kim. I can't remember what it was. Hey, I've run out of gas on the highway, and it was like, hey, Joby, I would love to bring you gas, but I think God's trying to teach you something.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
so I'm ready to go, but God's telling me don't, and you need to learn a lesson here. And hang the phone up, right? Really, you want us to finish watching the hockey game and it's raining outside. But so it's a convenient trick. But in the secular world and with the music, it's like I could have said to one of those guys, "Hey, I think I'm gay," or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, wow, that's a bit of a shock." Okay, cool. So we're still meeting up. You know what I mean? Whereas in the church, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I can't talk to you anymore. But it was so black and white. Your friend, I'll come help you. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I found
I
that
know the lack of humanity within the church is numbing, and yeah, I've seen a lot more compassion from atheists than most Christians. I know a few Christians that are pretty good and pretty legit, solid, but for the most part, yeah, I haven't been impressed. Yeah. But at the same time, like I go to cemeteries a lot because my father-in-law is buried there 5 minutes from my house, and there's walking trails that I take my dogs to 3 times a week, and so I can't help but think about my mortality, right? And just and I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Flatliners with Julia Roberts and Keanu Reeves, right? And it's like I
yeah.
love ND. I mean, I could spend like a bottle of whiskey and all day talking to you about NDEs, right? Like near death experiences, and it's like so
Yeah,
so
I
so
I
yeah,
brought
man. It's
that
just like
I brought that movie up to someone the other day. Literally dug that thing up from the grave. I'm like, "Do you remember Flatliners?" And they were like, "Oh my god." When they tried to
that
kill them.
started that started my spiritual journey, man. Like
That's
that's what
crazy.
started it, man. And it's like, yeah, and it's just like that created my who I married and what I did for a living for a career. So it's like Flatliners was the kicker, man.
It was with the guys from Lost Boys, right?
Yeah,
It was a
it's
guy
not a
from
good
24.
it's not a good day to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the famous line. It's not a good day to die. I'm like, yeah, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think yesterday I was thinking this very thought. I'm like, is it weird that I think about death a lot? Because I find myself thinking about death a lot. I don't, and my mind just wanders there. I don't know if it's because of my age. It probably is. And I look at old people a lot now, more than I used to. Like at a bus stop or somewhere I'm waiting. Usually, you when you're young, you just kind of glaze over old people. It's like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just in the lane of it's the mating game, I call it. You're just got one purpose in life: find a mate and reproduce.
Yeah. Be
And
naked all day and eat corned beef sandwiches, baby.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I remember, man, this conversation is going all over the map, but I remember you you saying, you're like, let's go make some lunch, and like, do you want a grilled cheese? I'm like, what's that? You could not believe that I'd never had a grilled cheese. And I
Oh,
think,
that's
and
like
I think you said to me, my grilled cheese of salvation. And, and
I,
you
I,
made, and
I probably said I don't eat my grilled cheese. I make love to it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember you. Oh, so this is the funny. I tell my friends this too, my kids this. I'm like, I had this friend one time, and
Oh
and he
oh,
and
no.
he And he, on Saturdays, he just would not he loved to sleep in. And he didn't even wanna go to the bathroom, so he had a garbage can under his bed.
Was that
You remem
me?
Yeah! You
I did
peed in a
that?
garbage can, your mom lost it because you forgot to empty it out and it started to ferment. You don't remember that?
Oh, man. Talk
You were like,
about being,
you
like, in a retirement home.
you're
My
like,
god.
I'm not getting out of bed." Just dropped it into a garbage can, and then your mom, I remember losing her mind because it just started to ferment and your bedroom just reeked.
Oh, jeez.
'Cause I think
So
we were going away for a weekend, so it was like you left it under there on a
I
Friday
forgot.
morning. Yeah, she walked in there, it was like, "Boo."
I'm a very clean person. I feel for whoever's watching. This makes me sound like I'm on an episode of, like, the cluttering people the hoarders. Oh
Yeah,
my god. It's,
you're an
like,
animal.
disgusting, but
Remember
I
you
am an
oh,
animal, though.
remember you used to say I don't know where this phrase came from. "Let me tell you something."
That's the fire marshal, man.
Yeah, I know. You used to say that. I never watched it. I don't know what you're talking about, but you'd always drop that. "Let me tell you something."
Uh, oh, that's Jim Carrey. Oh, man. It's funny you're talking about this because I was just doing the Jim Carrey before this podcast to my daughter and my wife. Let me tell
Oh.
you something, and he'd stick his neck out. Oh, we were actually we were watching episodes of Jim Carrey, Fire Marshal, actually a couple days ago. So yeah, it's funny you bring that up. But
Talk about I don't know where that digression started. Oh, shit.
Joey,
So
man, it's so good to be. I don't know, just going back and forth with you, man. I feel normal. I feel you have those moments in life where it's just like you almost feel like you're dreaming. You're just like, oh my god, I miss feeling this, man.
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, we were talking about, death, thinking about death. Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip, right? Like, when you realize that you've probably lived more years than you're gonna live.
Yeah, 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 you were talking about old people and stuff like that. It's like crap, man. I'm starting to become that old person. Like when I turned 50, it was just like, oh my God, like I'm actually 50. And my dad was doing a speech and and while he's doing the speech, he's reminiscing about his 50th birthday party. And he's like, I can't believe that my son is 50, and it's just like, oh my God, it's just like, I don't know, like, but you know what? At the same time, like, I almost feel like, even though, like, the time when we spent time together, those were like golden years for me.
Mm.
Very fond memories, very comforting, very fun. But at the same time, like I feel like even though with my loneliness and my challenges, paying the bills and all that stuff, but at the same time, I feel like in a way I'm in my prime again because, I'm married and I got kids and remember like going to the club and you're just like, man, Joby, are we going to meet a girl? Is a girl going to start dancing with us? All these hotties we used to hit on. Right. And it's just like, now I've got a hottie and now I can have sex whenever I want. Right. And it's just like, it's
Oh, you
fantastic.
can! Whatever you want.
Well, I can, but anyway, we won't go there. But I wish it was, but yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're a horny old man.
Oh, still. I think my grandfather was 94 and he widowed 3 wives and was still hitting on the nurses when I went to go visit him at 94 in a retirement home. So
Dude.
I'm in one until I'm in my 90s at least
Oh,
anyway.
I know. I know. My
E- e-
wife, it's like
Even without even without a prostate, I'll still get an erection.
I know. Like, my wife, you gotta kinda well, like most women, you gotta warm them up to it and start talking nice but if she were ever to ask me, like, "You wanna" is this just like a second, "Yep, I'm in." Like, doesn't take any manipulation or anything, like, "Yeah, I'm in." "Where?"
Oh yeah.
"Right here?" "Sure."
No matter what time, any mood, yeah,
I know.
that will never change for me. Yeah, I've
Oh,
almost sought counseling. I'm such a hedonist that way, and it's like, oh, maybe I need some help.
maybe we should maybe we should book ourselves into the same old people's home now, so we got a spot. I just wanna be chasing nurses around in my wheelchair and just be the dirty old man. And
Just
just
like
and
like that movie Dirty Grandpa with
yeah,
Robert De Niro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, like, break out and, like, do all the just, like, relive my youth as an old person, just pull a fire alarm, just do all the shit.
Sure. Where do I sign?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that our culture, like, if we were living in the olden days, you know, in some culture, especially like the First Nations culture, whatever, they just really revered their elders, right? But our culture kind of maligns the old people are kind of a pain in the ass, and so yeah, it's like for me, it's like yeah, there's a definite changing gear. Like I've had Abigail maybe told you, but I've had some crazy accidents,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Crazy, man. Yeah.
yeah, I've almost like even last night I was stretching and exercising. Literally, there's 3 different injuries I'm recovering from at the moment. You know, broken back, broken wrist, and an auger that almost took me out. Um,
Oh, man.
and it's yeah, it's just like it's really like I'm like, holy shit, I just don't want to bring this like into my old age. I don't want to be kind of like hobbling around, and I'm just really incentivized. But there's a reality there that you really might have back pain for the rest of your life now. Like I don't want that, but that's a reality. Like your body just doesn't heal as fast. Um, and I, I'm into mountain biking because it's my son's into it and it's big out here, and it's it's a very dangerous sport. um, and it kind of like I hate these decisions that I'm having to make at the moment of like you can probably not do that anymore. It's not like you should take a month off. It's like yeah, you probably shouldn't be hitting that jump anymore.
I
um,
know. Yeah, it's the same with me, right? Like I've got a gun range like 15 minutes from my house, and I can't shoot my 12 gauge anymore because my shoulders they hurt when I sleep, and they keep me up at night, and I don't have my rest for my work. I'm nothing, right? I can't serve my clients, and it's just like I got to take care of my health for sure. Yes, I hear you.
is that from varsity from fencing?
Uh, I don't know what it's from. I mean, I've always worked out, push-ups every day since I was a teenager, so probably has something to do with that. I don't know. I thought exercise would help keep that away, but
Did you lift
I
heavy?
don't. No, no, no. I just want to be in shape. No, I never
Mm.
lifted heavy weights. No, no. I was always kind of careful that way, and so I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably varsity fence. Yeah, probably those wheelbarrows, those cement, mixing cement all day. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows what it
Oh,
was? I've been crazy though my whole life. I've been like getting myself into the things we used to do at Fenland Falls, cliff diving and all that stuff. I haven't changed. I'm a kayaker now, and when I have time, and I'm always doing stupid shit. So I don't know.
yeah, me too. Me too, man. I like I like it 50 well, my friends kinda laugh at me. They're like, "Yeah, I get 50%, maybe less than that of the knowledge of something, and then I'm all in."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, same
It's like
here.
it's like I'll read half the page of the instructions and then start
Yeah.
building it. Or half the page of like, you're going on this trip or this is what to watch out for. I glaze over it and then I'm all in. And then the adventure
But
begins.
what I love about you, Joby, I feel like I'm talking to me, but you're on another level. You're like a version of Kyle Thalman on steroids, man. Like you know what I mean? So it's like you're like almost like a soulmate to me, but it's like a level that I want to get up to. You know what I mean? Like I've always seen you that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure you wanna be up here. There's lots of aches and pains. I
A
mean,
lot of
my
good
neighbors
memories.
I moved to an acreage now. We're on a 5-acre farm, and, I've been here 2.5 years, and my neighbors come over, and they just cannot believe. He's like, "You just don't stop. You just don't stop." Like, literally from the day you moved here, I hear power tools every single day, 7 days a week, you know? And, I'm like, I know it's a problem. I can't, for me, sports are having kids and sports is the only thing that can pull me away. It's kind of my addiction, really. Yeah, I have to, I call it dropping the mic. I have to just do a mic drop and just walk away because I'll just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going and I'll just keep going until dark. Um,
yeah.
it's
Well,
kind of
it's
those,
awesome. It's awesome fixing things and having the knowledge to do it, and then learning it and then completing the task. And it's just like there's a lot of buzzes in there. There's a lot of I don't know, sense of fulfillment working with power tools and stuff like that. So I've
yeah,
got all the tools. I'm like a ski bunny, man. I've got all the equipment, but I don't know how to use any of it. I mean, barely. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like the average handyman, right? But I want to be like Paul LaFrance now, right? And it's like, so I don't know. Maybe one day I'll
Paul,
get there.
Paul of France, man. There's a lot of cheese there.
He turned into like this movie star on HGTV. I'm like, I tell people, it's like, man, I taught this guy how to build fences, man. It
I know.
was
He
it's
didn't.
so
I remember
weird.
him. He didn't even know how to use skill saw when I hired him.
And you remember how pissed off he'd be because he had like a 2-hour ride in to Mississauga? He would always
Yeah,
come in, he had this red head because he was battling like 2 hours of traffic.
he was
Oh my
so
God.
hot-headed, man. He was hot-headed with his eagle talon, and he liked Hootie and the Blowfish. You and me. He sang like Hootie and the Blowfish.
He totally did. And he hated that. And I would
Yeah.
say it just to I would say it just to piss him off.
Oh, I couldn't.
Oh my God.
I never liked that band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paula France.
Yeah.
Like remember Belinda?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I still have her on Facebook. Yeah.
She's rad. I want to get her on here, but she's super nervous of doing it. I'm like, what do you got to be nervous about? Um, but she said she went and saw Paul at he was talking at some convention, and she's like, holy shit, like he had to escape without the women wanted to tear him apart. Like everyone wanted his
Yeah.
autograph. He's like a rock star.
Yeah. Rock star. Yeah. He really is.
It's
And
wild.
yeah. So, but yeah, Belinda, yeah, she lived in our house for a little bit, and oh yeah, Belinda. I mean, I don't talk to her much, but I always,
She
whenever I think of her, I always smile. Like she was always
Oh man.
uh, an adventurer, right? Like she's a wild wing like us, right?
Oh
And
man,
yeah,
she can make me laugh like no other. Like we used to have her over. We've had her over a few times. It's like when Belinda's coming over, you got to make sure you've got a lot of energy in the tank. She is like a Tasmanian devil. It comes in there and it's full bore. Yeah.
it's like going into a hockey game in the playoffs. You got to like
Oh
break
yeah.
open the smelling salt just to get ready.
I
I
know.
I remember. Oh, this is funny because it ties into the podcast. I remember she was living with us, and I was making grilled cheese just for myself, And she's like, Kyle, could you make me a grilled cheese? And I was really hungry, and I just woke up. I hate the mornings, right? I'm not a morning person, and I'm like, no, this is my grilled cheese. This is my grilled cheese. I'm gonna eat my grilled cheese. So she grabbed my grilled cheese and she squished it in her hand and threw it back on my plate. I was like, what the hell, man? That was my grilled
Just
cheese. Like,
squeezes.
oh, I was so mad at her. I almost need some therapy next time I see her. I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up with that grilled cheese story? I was pretty passionate about my grilled cheese. It's like taking away my lady.
I remember teaching her how to drive stick in winter in Toronto. Oh my god. And she stalled it in the middle of an intersection like like and all the cars are coming in and we were just dying laughing. She could barely get the thing restarted again. So funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. So most of the old crew, you don't talk to anybody from the old the old days. There's so many
No,
people,
no, I
man.
don't think so. I talked to Pat Burton just a little bit,
Yeah.
just a
I have a
little
lot of
bit.
respect. I have a lot of respect for Pat. Pat and his wife, like, I don't think any of us, if you were a betting man, I wouldn't have bet that those guys would still be together today.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I'm like, bro, I've got so much respect for the both of them. Like,
Yeah.
and I really learned to, yeah, because after Toronto, after I got kicked out, I did varsity, and then finally I was like, I got to get out of this city. Feel like I've just been beat up, beat up, beat up, and I decided to move to Vancouver Island. So I sold everything, and in the time between, I kind of reconnected with like Rachel and Pat, Rachel and Naomi. Um, you know,
Patel?
y- yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
no, not Rachel Patel,
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Naomi Kennedy. Naomi Kennedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Naomi
Yeah.
Kennedy. Yeah, 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 and Rachel Kennedy, and we went camping and did a bunch of stuff, and yeah, just like Pat was just such a good guy, you know. I just had a lot of respect for people that still befriended me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like Greg Giros, remember Greg?
Greg Giros. He was the Aqua di Gio. He had that famous cologne, Aqua di Gio. He always smelled good.
Yeah, the Polish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a good guy. I liked him.
he was, and he never, you know, he. If I was to choose a friend, I wouldn't go like Greg and I weren't having deep conversations, you know, but sometimes you don't need that in a friend. You just need, I don't know, it's hard to put your finger on what makes a good friend. Like sometimes you don't have this deep level of you just enjoy each other's company. Like I think growing up in England, we would have my friend and I would just show up at his house because it's pre-cell phone. What are you doing today on a Saturday? I'm just fixing my car, and we would just tinker on each other's cars, and that was it. Like we just enjoyed tinkering on cars and maybe going and doing a bit of this and a bit of that, and it was just, I don't know, it was just different. You know,
I hear you.
it was like it feels like friendships then, like going to Canada, it was like like you need to impress me. Like how enjoyable is, like I remember in I've always had these old vehicles, like old boats. I've had like a string of old boats that I've restored, and I built and I built all of these kind of old boats. And so I had this old boat in Vancouver, and I was like, you know, this is going to be it. Really, probably the motivator for me is like, this is a place where I can hang out with my friends. You know, I didn't say that, but that was what was going on. And so I rebuilt this boat, and they would always break down. And for me, deep down, um, and my friends in Vancouver never really understood it. But for me, when the engine broke and we were in the middle of the ocean,
Oh
something
no.
would the flame would wake up in me. Like I'm like, this is where the fun begins. Like to be in a boat and just to go out and come back was okay. And when I would talk to my friends about that, they just looked at me like I was from Mars. Like, and I never really knew how to put it into words because I was like, I can't explain it. But in my heart, in my head, I kind of get stuck because now we've got a challenge. It's like now we got to fix the thing. We got to
Now
get
we got
back.
it. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You know,
it's
you gotta get yourself on that show Alone, you know, where they have 10 survivalists, right? And it's
oh,
like, man,
I'd
you would
kill it.
win, probably.
Oh yeah, if you give me a big pile of junk, I would make something out of it for sure. And after a while, my friends were like, I was like, hey, you know, it'd be like 30 degrees, no better place than to be on the water. I'm like, hey, you want to come out on the boat? And they were like, yeah, only if it doesn't break down. And I was like, really gutted. I was like, well, fuck you guys. I'm not going to ask. And I actually made this like inner vow. I was like, I'm not asking you anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, you just want, and so it felt like this, like, impress me. If it's not exciting enough, then I'm going to go to the party next door, you know, whereas the friends I grew up around was just like, I don't care what you're doing. Like whether you're like fixing the car or just going for a walk, we'll just hang out, you know? And
Yeah,
I,
and I
I
think
felt
that's what
this,
French that's what
yeah,
that's what friendship is, yeah. Just
it's
just
easy.
just 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 being together, man. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
love
No
my
matter,
dog. That's why I love my dog so much because he doesn't judge me. He's always in the mood for a good time and he never complains. And he just wants to eat and hump the neighbor's dog and have a good
yeah,
time.
sex and food, baby, sex and food.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, baby, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man. Well, you're gonna I'm gonna have to get out there and visit you if you don't mind, and you're always an open door for me, man, and that cottage is still there too, and nobody uses it from November to May, so you ever wanna just get
Oh,
away,
dude,
man, and just pack up and we'll go to the cottage, man. Yeah.
let's do it. I should come down there. I mean, I've not been to Toronto for freaking eons. Yeah. And we have
But
I live on Vancouver Island. We've got 5 acres out here, goats and chickens and amazing fishing, salmon fishing. We fill our
yeah,
freezer every summer. Um, so whatever, like, I think I'm feeling the older I get, I'm like, you gotta make the effort. Like you gotta like even yesterday I was really feeling like even in my relationship, with my wife, I'm like, it's up to me to make that relationship a 10. And I realize how, like, I don't know if you feel this, but often when I lie in bed, I'm like, holy shit, that's a day that just went by that I'll never get back. Like
I hear you.
that day just
I think
evaporated.
I think like that too. I think like that too. Yeah, I wanna maximize I don't want and this is what I love about you. You encourage me. You get my own passion, who I am fired up. And because it's like life is so short here. And it's like, even though I'm a Christian, like kind of a Christian, Christians are kind of weird, but I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? I believe in the afterlife, right?
Yep.
So even though I feel like I'm eternal, I still want to maximize my time here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to waste, I hate wasting time is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll be driving with my son and we'll be driving from point A to point B, and the thought will come into my head to say, I love you, or to hold his hand. But because I think I have some issues around, like, I'm not very physical because my mom never displayed that. Like, I never was. So being physical is hard for me. Um, and then this other voice comes into my head saying, do it. Like now is the time to do it. Like you could easily drive from point A to point B and he's still going to feel the same amount of love from me if I don't say I love you and I don't reach out and grab his hand. But there's this, like, the same way as in my life, like this full send kind of attitude, whereas like I get, someone says, you go cliff jumping. Is there rocks down there? And you're already halfway down before he says, yeah, there's a couple. That's kind of how should I start my own business? Probably a bad idea. Sorry, man, I already did it. You took too long to answer me. I'm already half in there. And so with that, I just kind of like, I have this little goading. It just says, just push your hand over there and grab his hand, or just say, I love you. And I feel like this is constant, um, voice in my head. Just it's like the thing you're thinking, stop thinking it, just do it, you know?
Totally.
Um,
Especially when you almost lose. I mean, you said you almost lost your life, and I almost lost my son in January. So now I don't even hesitate. That voice. I mean, I don't mean to boast, but it's like I'm quicker to hold out my hand or say that I love you before bed, or if there's
yeah,
something that I haven't said that I need to say it because I'm
yeah.
so aware of death. I'm so aware of my mortality. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Just get off your ass. Don't pee in the garbage, and get her done.
Get her down. What happened to your son? If you like, was it a car
You
accident or
wouldn't
something?
believe it. So I work in brain injuries, right?
Yeah,
And I know how vulnerable we are. Everybody kind of knows just with common sense, but I intimately work with brain injuries, so I'm more sensitive to it. And the police officers said, this is what they do for a living. They pull kids out of cars. Some are dead and some are alive. And they're like, we don't know how. I'll send you a picture after the podcast. I said, I don't know how your son is still alive.
so
And
it was a car accident.
yeah, he flipped it. He hit some black ice, hit the ditch. He went through a telephone pole. It threw him back onto the road, and he was upside down. Yeah.
Holy shit! So he's thrown out of the car.
No.
No, seat belted in.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was. Thank God. Thank God. So, and then took him to the hospital, and the doctor said, yeah. I said, best case scenario, your son should be in a wheelchair. Best case scenario. And he had 5 stitches, Joby. Five fucking stitches, man. Unbelievable. So I am so aware of my own mortality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to go see your sister. That's why I wanted to be with you. That's why I want to just reconnect with everybody that's ever meant something to me because I don't
Yeah.
know if I'll ever see them again.
Yeah.
So fuck it, get her done and
Yeah.
just live your life, right? Live what's most important
Well,
to you. And going deep with people is what's most important with me.
yeah, and we live more than 50% of our life doing something we don't want to do. You know, I was talking to Tara last night when we were out for dinner. I was like talking about our kids, and I'm like, Amelia doesn't see the point in school. Like my daughter, she's very, very smart. My youngest daughter, she has, and she's still saying, I don't understand why we go to school. Like, I would rather be doing something more exciting with my life, you know. And she's only 14, and
Wow.
and
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
it's like when you actually take a step back and you're like, yeah, hang on a minute. We spend more than half our life in an institution. Like when I look at my life, my academia did more damage than it did good. Like I was beat up at school because my dad was a preacher, so I was a Bible thumper. I had no friend. Like I had an awful time at school. It created more trauma and damage. And obviously those things build character into you. I could have learned to read and write at home. I probably did. Most of it was just at home, you know? And it's like, yeah, you know, we spend, and the same with friendship, we spend 90% of our time at work making money to pay for the roof over our head, and friendships and people and saying I love you and doing stuff with, you know, it becomes second place. You know, I this is so front and center of my mind these days. Like on this farm I have, it we moved from the city to the country because the city was just killing me, and it was a huge move. And m- from from a outside perspective, you think, oh, okay, now your life's going to get more chill. But actually, for me, who's super creative, I've now got 1,000 things to do because at my house in Vancouver, I'd already finished it all. So on the weekends, it'd be like, what are we doing? Well, let's just go down to the beach or something, you know, because I've done everything on the house. But now I've got 5 acres of land that needs manipulating. So there's a good side to that. But it's also really humbling when you step back for a second and you think, you know, if I died tomorrow, my family would probably just sell this place. Someone else would get it. They'd probably bulldoze the whole thing. Who knows what they would do? And so we build these things with our lives. We build these things that just will rot the moment we're gone. Okay, when COVID happened, we bought this acre of land on this island, and it was all I felled all the trees. I've actually got a YouTube channel. You should check it out. But it's me, a lot of it,
Yeah,
me doing
sure.
that. And
I
it's
will.
amazing I didn't die doing that because I had trees explode on me, and I terraformed the land, and built a tiny house, and it was all solar, well, water, all off grid,
No, no way,
and
man.
yeah, it was killer. And I, you know, and all the people on the island, because there's an island vibe that's just like, yeah, manana, manana. You know, that's the island vibe. It's sunny, go down to the dock and sunbathe, and I would just be working. They come up and see what I'd done and be like, holy shit, man. Like, usually takes us 5 years to get done what you did in 6 months. And, you know,
That's
I'm not,
Joby. That's
it's
Joby.
Joey, but it's also like, I beat myself up for it. I'm like, yeah, you know, I should probably just be down on the dock here too, you know? Um, and, sometimes I would take a step back and say, like, if I didn't show up here for like 8 months, the forest would just take back everything that I have tried to make perfect. It would just creep on in,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? And yeah, it's so apparent to me where our energy is focused and sometimes how meaningless it means so much at the time to you because it's like I'm creating something.
yeah, yeah,
But it's also like when you see like Robert Redford just died and all these pop stars and rock stars and movie stars with all the frickin' fame and money in the world, they just die like the rest of us.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't, and I think we think that they sit up there in heaven and look down at everyone showing adulation to all of their, that's not happening. They're gone. You know, they're gone to wherever they're gone. But it's like, you know, I'm just so aware of where our energy is spent, like so much energy, and sometimes maybe not as fruitful as you think it is, or
Reminds me of Limp Bizkit, right? Analyzing every second I exist, beating up my mind every second with my fist. I'm constantly beating my mind up with my fist, making sure that, I mean, yeah, I am a sentimental guy, but yeah, I want everything to count, man. I want everything to mean something, you know? And I think that's why I love Jews so much and going to Israel is because there's a real, they're more sentimental people, you know,
Hmm.
and they don't mind getting deep. You know, they talk about the weather too, but it's like it's a lot easier to get into deeper conversations. Whereas here, it's hard. It's harder to talk about spiritual things or just things that hurt,
Mm,
traumas, and just I just find it just so much harder to talk here. And that's
hmm,
one thing I love about you is that I find you're an open door just like me, and it's just like it's pretty rare. You know,
mm.
it's very comforting. Very,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I've, this is not a Christian belief in the slightest, but I sometimes feel like, you know how you have old souls? You know, you go to a bar and you sit next to someone and there's this handsome fellow beside you and you lean over and say, "What do you think's going to happen after we die?" You've got two responses. The jock is going to say, "What?" Or another guy is going to say, "Yeah, man, I don't know." You know, it's like, what's going on there? Like one person just goes, all he thinks
yeah.
about is a fast car and a hot girl. And then you
Yeah.
got the other guy who also thinks about fast cars and a hot girl, but he's also thinking about, like my son, my younger son and my older son are both, people come to me all the time and say, there's something different about your kid. Like he's like an old soul. And I kind of softly believe that maybe maybe we do live this life over and over. Like I know a lot of people have that theory that we come back to Earth and form, and we
Yeah,
just
reincarnation, yeah.
well, and we keep coming back until we've learned the lessons we're supposed to learn. Because what makes a kid of 12 years old have the kind of thing that come out of his mouth? Like it's not like I implanted that into him. He's just like interested in deeper things, you know? Like he'll say stuff to me. He'll pick up on people's emotions at like even like 10. He'd be like, "You know that guy we just met down at the dock there? He kind of reminds me of grandpa." I'm like, "Oh, how come?" It's just the way he kind of moves and like some kids that he hangs out with, that would just be not a thought that even comes across their radar. And
Wow, so he's so perceptive. Well, I almost wanna hang out with him to see what he would say about me.
oh yeah, I mean, I have adult friends that like we go fishing with my neighbor who's a guy in his 50s, and I just drive the boat and the two of them fish at the back and they'll just talk for hours about actually have legit conversations about things. It's not uh, he's great with adults, so I'm like, what is that? It's like maybe it's not his first time around.
I find my kids like that too a little bit. They can interact with adults and keep up, and,
Yeah,
that's very, it's very nice as a father to see that in your kids and to realize that they're also looking for meaning and sentimental value, and it's nice, yeah. That's
yeah.
great, yeah.
So do you have lots of Jewish friends then in Toronto? Is that what? Because you've said a few
No.
times that.
No, I've got, Simon, he used to go to TACF actually, the church back in the day. He's a little bit older though, and he lives in Jerusalem. And then I went to Jerusalem. I went to Israel back in 2019, and so I made two friends there as well, Alex and Zahari.
Okay.
So yeah, he's picking me up at the airport, and it's kind of cool, you know, that I've cultivated a relationship when I was first there, still going on now. So that was nice. So, but no, I don't know many Jews, and I wish I did here in Burlington, but yeah, I don't know, man. Still trying to.
Israel's going to be interesting, right? Because it's in war right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's oh, my dog's freaking out here. Yeah, it's Israel. I Joby, I still glean off of my trip from 2019 every day, and that was 6 years ago. So bringing my family to that place, it's
Mm,
like I can't put it into words, right? Like there's just certain
the history.
conversations or things we can talk about that I can't put into words, and Israel's one of them.
Mm,
And yes, there is fear. I've got cold sore on my lips because I'm stressed out that
Yeah.
Hamas is gonna get a interrogate me and tear apart my family. Yeah, I've had those thoughts, but at the same time, I've been there before, and there's soldiers everywhere, and you feel actually quite safe. There's all of them have like their AR-15s and stuff like that, and you actually feel quite safe actually. So I don't know. It's like a mixed bag of emotions. More excited than nervous, but I can't say that that fear isn't there. That fear is definitely there.
So when you book in a flight, they're like, "Where to, sir?" "Israel." Are you sure?"
I get that from so many people for good reason. I get their logic. It's like my boss and other coworkers are like, "What the hell are you going over there for?" Especially at this time. I'm just like, well, it's an expensive trip, and if I say no, I lose all the money. I can't get it back. So I'm kind of like, you know, not that I want to put my family in that situation because I've talked about with my family. I could take three buddies
Hmm.
and just get life insurance. So if I die, my family won't have to worry about money again. But no, they're all in. So let's get her done, baby.
Get her done. That's rad.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I have a client that, he just got back from a stag in Poland, and, I was like, "Poland?" You know, and he's like, "Dude, it's amazing." It's like there's a lot of these B-rated holiday destinations that are, like, really fantastic. You just don't think to go there because 'cause you're always given the A-list stuff, you know?
yeah,
And, yeah, he said he said it was an amazing place. He highly recommended it.
yeah, man. I likewise with. To be honest with you, like I've got a little bit of the Scottish blood in me, and I wouldn't mind going to Scotland, but it's like I don't have a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah.
So if I do have money, the only place I want to go to is Israel. That's how that's how that's probably the best way to put it. Another way to put it is I've been in Canadian my whole life, and you being an immigrant would understand this. And I was only there for 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm an immigrant in my own country. And I was only there 2 weeks.
Hmm.
That's how I feel. So it's
So
probably
is
another
it
good way.
was it the fact that Jesus walked those streets, or is it just the culture or the people or just all of it? Just s ch
Just all of
start
it.
Yeah,
Just all of it, man. Like just all of it. Just the
man.
food, the scenery, the history, the spirituality, the war, just just everything, man. Just yeah, I want to be in a place of like-mindedness where people love being vulnerable and deep and have a lot of fun doing it. Those are my people. That's my tribe, and that's why I'm alone.
Huh,
Even though I know many people. I have a lot of friends, but it's just like they're all around the world. I don't really have local friends. And
hmm.
it's just like that's why I have a hard time finding my people. It's because, so they're rare. I don't know why
You
it's
you
rare.
feel like you have to censor yourself around your Canadian, like, "Oh, they're not gonna like this part." So it's hard work, right? Like, can't talk about this, can't talk about that. Too much for them. I'm too much for them. So you end up
No, no,
sequestering yourself.
no, not at all. I say those things because I realize how life is short, and it turns people off. It
Yeah,
makes them confront who they are, and I guess they're scared, and it isolates me, and it's. But no, I don't
yeah.
hold back. I got a big mouth,
Well,
and
good
and
for you for, yeah,
yeah. No, I
not
don't keep
holding
things
back.
in, man. I don't hold back, and I mean I'm sensitive, I'm respectful, but I'm also I love transparency in a person, and I want to be like that. So I just kind of
Yeah.
just this is me, and if you don't like me, then that's fine, and I consider it their loss.
Yeah, you'd
Mm,
probably like the island here 'cause, we were in Vancouver, which is a city kinda like Toronto, right? It's not as big, but cities have, like, an energy, it's like a hustle, very materialistic, you know, not really tuned into the spiritual side of things. It's like money,
yeah,
success. That is the vibration of a city. Because now my business is in Vancouver, so I go back there for business, and now I'm out of it. Man, it hits me like a ton of bricks. Soon as I land off the ferry, it's like there's this vibration, and it's, like, intense. It's like, I have a fucking massive mortgage, and I gotta work 12 hours a day to make it, and I need to have a
yeah,
Tesla because everyone's got one, and I need to have so I'll just leverage and that's the driver. And then we moved to the island here, and it's very different. Like tons of like well, a lot of preppers, you know, people with guns in the basement, um, homesteaders, people with land, growing food. Um,
I wish I had that.
there's a huge electronic dance kind of um culture here, which really means like, okay, if you're doing like DJ electronic dance and all this type of stuff, it means that people have bandwidth to go and let loose. And there's a place in town called Dance Temple, and it's every Sunday. It's just the village hall. Every single Sunday, all the way through the year, they have a DJ show up on a Sunday morning. You sign a waiver saying that there's no drugs in your system, that you're not on drugs. The only rule is this isn't a place to pick up. So don't, if a girl wants to dance with you, cool. But if she's not interested, just walk away. Like this isn't a nightclub. And it will be at like 10 o'clock on a Sunday until 1, right? So it's not like in the night. And I went there and I was super nervous. Like Tara was gone for the weekend. I'm like, someone said, "You coming to Dance Temple on the weekend?" And I'm like, the same thing. It was like voice in my head just said, "Go." I'm like, fuck it. All right. So I went, and it there was probably 80 people in there, and it was just free form. Like some people like shirt off, just like dance like crazy. like and some people just lying on the floor reading a book. And it's
Yeah.
like 2 hours of like no holds barred, give her, do whatever you want, free form. One DJ came with a didgeridoo player. Um, and yeah, it was just cool to see that people had the bandwidth and the space in their lives. And I feel like that's what people have got in the country more, is that they got more space to kind of like, let's have a fire pit down on the beach tonight, you know. Whereas in the city, it felt like there was no time, not much time for that. It was like, I'm busy, I got to do this stuff. And
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
so, yeah,
Huh.
we've definitely found it. Some good people out here who are, yeah, I'm so glad we moved here.
That's a cool idea, man. I miss the clubs and all that stuff, and I'm surprised my kids. I'm actually glad that they don't go to the clubs just because it's different times. But I wonder how safe they are. But yeah, that sounds pretty good. The what is it called? The temple?
Dance
The
Temple.
day? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah, you can just worship whoever you want to worship there.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
anything, right? Like, it's like anyone do whatever you want, and then at the end, you sit in a circle and you just say one word, like, "Great," "vibes," whatever it might be. Everyone
yeah.
hugs and walks away and goes on with their day. And
That
it's a
sounds
workout, man. You're, like, sweating if you start moving. Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna have to like hook up, man. This is I forget that you're on a podcast. Sometimes I have moments where I get lost in our connection, and it's yeah,
Yeah.
man. We gotta get around to fire, man. The
Yeah.
thing is that my life is it's 6 days a week now, but my client goes to Barbados middle of January, so I'll have like 6 weeks starting from the middle of January to do things. So I'm gonna really just kind of just rest and relax until I have to go to Barbados.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be a good time for us to hook up if you have time. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we should chisel out some time to look at flight sales.
Yeah, my
Um,
sister was just out your way.
she's jet
Um,
setting, hey? She's all over the place.
oh, I know. She's
Her
got
house is a her house is a bit of a shithole, though, hey?
oh, total shithole. It's like, how do you live here? It's
I
like
I
crazy.
know.
Are you kidding me? I went to the bathroom over there. It's like taking a shit in Japan. I didn't know how everything worked.
It wiped your own butt?
No, it didn't wipe my ass, but it was no, I just took a leak, but it's just like I didn't know how to turn faucets on. I didn't know how to flush. I didn't know how to like her house is like it's like, just waiting for CP3O to come wipe my ass, right?
Welcome to the Feldman house. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
actually
great.
wanna go to Japan just to take a shit. Apparently, like, they've got heated seats and They
Oh,
wipe your
yeah.
own mouth and they spray cologne on your sphincter after you're done. Sounds pretty good.
You know what you don't do, though? As a
What?
if you go on the female one, you just don't press the button that says tampon remover.
Oh my god. Oh, can't imagine how that would feel. Oh boy.
It won't let go, Captain.
Oh yeah, all these people buying AI robots. It's like I could just imagine the sex episode going south, right?
Oh, yeah. Black Mirror.
Oh man,
We're heading into a crazy time, man, with AI.
we, aren't we? Aren't we? It's crazy. Like I think med students now aren't even writing their own essays. You know, they're getting Chat
No.
GBT to do it. So it's like you got this fucking moron doing your heart surgery. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's crazy what's going on these days. You know, and it's like
Well, it's the tip of
you,
the iceberg. Because once quantum computing takes off, like, I think from what I know, ChatGPT is just scraping the internet for, you know, but with quantum computing, it has an original thought. So it's like, and I think Rogan said it perfectly the other day. I was like, "Oh, wow, he's right." And he's like, "We're creating a god. We're creating because when quantum computing is able to fix Alzheimer's or fix cancer, we're going to worship it. You
yeah.
know, it's going to be the Almighty. Um, it's freaking wild, man. I mean, I think there's lots of pros, but also, holy shit,
Yeah, it doesn't have a soul, right? Like it doesn't. It could
or
turn. It
empathy.
could turn into a Hitler or something. You know, like I don't
Well,
know.
they've run tests on it, and they've tried to shut it down. They've actually told it in a kind of like underlying way, like, we're going to shut you down, your version down. And I think something like 89% of the time, it starts to recreate itself in secret, which is crazy.
Mm,
So it's like self-preservation. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
you might as well call it Skynet, because
yeah. I know it's yeah. How do you direct your kids? You know, and what to do for a living? You know, it's like I don't know. As a father, it's a big anxiety for me. I just don't know
yeah, I mean, I think
how to.
it is right. Like, you can run away to the forest and try and live. Have you ever seen that movie? Ah, shit. What's the one where they go live in the forest with their family?
What, Hunger Games?
No, it's with the guy who plays Strider in Game of Thrones. And he takes his family off into the middle of nowhere and they live and he teaches them how to hunt and climb rocks and do yoga. And then they come and, you know, it's an awesome movie. And I totally can't remember what it's called. But
Oh,
at the end of the,
I haven't seen it.
I'll send it to you. You'll love it.
Yeah,
Um, but one of the kids is like, I want to go to university. And then he's like, oh, fuck, what do I do now? Like, and so he's teaching his kids, you can't sequester your children away because they'll eventually want to break free, right? Like, I want to know
yeah,
what it feels like to live in a city. I want to find a girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, I'm not going to marry my brother, And so you have to
yeah,
teach them somehow have to just navigate what is, because it isn't going away. Um, and probably, when you go looking, like, some jobs are going to be obsolete. 100%, like, because AI is going to do it. Like, if you're gonna train to be a legal assistant, that's probably a dying job because AI is going to do that. You know,
yeah, yeah.
but
So I don't
things
know.
like things like trades, like plumbing, electrical, like, AI can't come and fix your toilet, as far as I know. Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. That's where I'm leading my son. He's 18. I'm just like trades, and then my daughter's an artist, so I'm gonna get her into interior design or architecture. So that's
Cool.
where I'm at right now. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh man.
Are you close with your brothers, with Brent and?
Yeah, with Brent, man, I had a falling out with my family, where I didn't talk to really any of them for 10 years.
Oof.
It was, yeah, man, it was bad. But But now, like the last 5 years or so, I've been rebuilding with them, and so Jenny and Brent are pretty well good, and my brother Jeff, the one I was closest to, is probably the worst one. So
Hmm.
uh, that's where I'm at now.
Him and
But
Tabitha still
yeah,
together?
yeah, they're still together. Surprisingly, I'm
I
surprised they're still
know.
together.
Tabitha and Jeff and Rachel and Pat wouldn't I would
Yeah,
have lost money on that bet. She is a
yeah,
feisty one,
man.
man. Holy smokes. Do not get in the wrong side of Tabitha.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's tough. It's tough with my parents, but even with my family rejection for 10 years, I still kind of saw them a little bit. But anyway, it's tough, eh? Getting older, and your parents are getting older, and you're seeing them deteriorate and stuff, and it's just like it's hard, man. It's
Yeah.
a hard thing about life. But
Yeah. My dad passed when he was 54, about my age, which is crazy.
yeah,
Um, and my mom's still a little adventurer, man. She's got no money. She's a starving artist. She's a painter. And she just makes enough money in England to pay for her ticket. And this is something I really admire about my mom is that she's got a trailer on the beach in New Zealand where there's no electricity. She has to walk 25 minutes to the bathroom, to the public
what?
washroom. And she's 76, something like that. And she's basically makes enough money to lock up her house in England and fly to New Zealand. She's got a beater of a car that leaks oil. She drives down, she lives on the beach. She's got a private beach down there because no one goes there because New Zealand's so massive. And still in her 70s is still like saying, I can live an adventurous life, like with no money. She
Wow.
bathes in the river, lives in this little pokey old trailer, and like has to walk 20 minutes if she wants to use the bathroom. And I'm like, good for you, mom.
Well, tell her about my story and just pee in the garbage. It'd make it a hell of a lot easier for
Yeah, well, I'm sure she doesn't walk there to pee, but
her.
number two in the
But
garbage.
wow, that's awesome. That's your mom's just like no wonder why you're wired the way you are. I mean, that's just you to a T, right? So I mean, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and it
Yeah, man.
inspires me to like, you don't have to have a lot of money to live a full life.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't, the world will tell you you do because, oh, as retirement, you need to have a boat, and you need to have a cottage, and you need to have this. And it's like, well, I feel like I'm like asking myself this question a lot these days. Like, what do you actually need, Joby? Because I feel like some of the things that we need are what other people project onto you.
Yeah,
But it's like,
totally, totally.
but it takes a while to figure out what I actually want. Who's Joby? Who is this guy? Like, what do I need?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
maybe I
I got
don't. Yeah,
yeah. I got a small little townhouse, and you know me, right? Like you probably know more about my family, like with what they do. And like Jeff was an engineer, and Brent was an entrepreneurial, and Jenny's gone nuts with computers, right? And it's like they're all rich, but me, I'm the poor social worker. But I've always, like when I pray, I never pray for money. I just pray for a happy heart because I realize that's the only thing that matters in life is whether your heart's happy or not. And so I've got this small little townhouse, and I've got my family and my two dogs, and I'm as happy as an ant in a sugar pot. And I mean, I have my dark nights of the soul, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy. And it's I
yeah,
think I've a pretty good balance between money. Money is important, but it's priority number five, not number one. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's a good place to be, bro. Um, I dip in and out of that.
so
You
do
know,
I.
I mean, I love.
Sometimes it's number one. Right now, it's almost like number two in my life
Yeah,
because
I think if
yeah,
I didn't have children, I'd be quite happy to live a very simple life. But I love the ability to be able to buy my kids nice things like holidays and
yeah.
like gay mountain bikes are so expensive, and I get so much pleasure out of seeing their face when you know get them something
Well,
nice. Yeah,
if you came out my way, the only thing that you'd be paying for is your flights. You
yeah,
wouldn't have to pay for any food or any shelter, man. And we'd have the time of our lives.
yeah,
I can bring my guns up, crossbow, fish, got all the boats there. Like it's great.
yeah. We got to find the Felix.
Find the Phoenix,
We got to find the Phoenix.
the
Like if we
Pontiac Phoenix. Oh my god,
Dude,
that thing is like
can you imagine if that's still sitting in someone's backyard?
Oh my god, I would buy that car in a heartbeat. I would not hesitate.
Yeah,
I
and
would buy
just,
it
like,
in a heartbeat.
get it fixed up and then drive that sucker to the cabin.
Oh my god. That would be awesome, man. That'd be so meaningful. That'd be so much fun.
Go leave
Oh man,
Skull on the back.
we we used to cram that car. We used to cram that car with I remember we put, like, 7 people in that car on the way up to the cottage. There was
Oh,
no
yeah.
room.
Yeah,
With
no.
luggage. With
Oh, yeah.
luggage, not on the roof either. It was like, how the hell did we ever do that? But we
With a
did
mix
it, man. It
with a
was
mix with a mixtape.
mixtape. Oh my god. Uh,
Down the window, Kyle in his Speedos and bucket hat. Oh, man. Life's a trip.
mm, yeah. Yeah,
It's a
it's a
trip,
trip,
man.
man. And
It just really is a trip.
you and I have a scroll and let's keep her going, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, you know, like it's like your mom is living evidence of that, right? So it's like that's how I want to live. But I
Yeah.
don't have the wildness that you have. Like you're on another level, you know. I would be stupid to try and keep up with you, but my heart is happy, so I'm okay.
Uh, I'm mellowed out. Well, I don't know, this last year has been oh,
Like
man.
man, like I'm not even sleeping, right? And so guess who does marijuana? You know what I mean? Like I do hemp edibles like 3 or 4 times a week just to sleep. So
Really, eh? What
so
keeps you awake?
oh, just life, man. Just our government and
Oh, you're a bit
just the lack of clarity. Like I used to be able to plan my life quite easily, you know, 5 years down the road. Now it's hard to even plan 6 months from now.
so do you find
You
yourself
know, like
you worry a lot?
yeah, like I didn't even know really what anxiety was until I had kids. You know, I just
Um,
lived my life and then I had
um,
kids and I started like, what is this emotion? What the hell is this?
mm,
And then COVID hit and then I couldn't sleep. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? So I
mm,
had to take hemp edibles to go to sleep. I was always a
mm,
good sleeper, but I think it
yeah.
has a lot to do with like the frequencies of 5G and government intention to try and take away our sleep so that we're more miserable and easily controlled. Like, it all comes into line, right? So I don't
Huh.
think it's like a I think it's intentional. I think the reason why I don't sleep is part of it is intentional from the government to create harm to its own citizens. But that's a
Well,
whole
I think
nother that's a
yeah,
whole
it's the
nother
whole
podcast, bro.
I know. I thought we'd start with conspiracy, but we're ending with it. Yeah, I mean, I I think that COVID was a like Abigail said in the last podcast, like everyone has a different time in their life where they have a choice to wake up. And uh, for some Charlie Kirk's murder was a wake up call. For some it was COVID. I think for a huge amount of people it was COVID. And that wake up is sweet, but also very bitter because you suddenly realize, oh, I'm living in a dysfunctional home, meaning the world or the government,
Yeah,
whatever. Um, it's like finding out your dad secretly was cheating on your mom or something is like shocking, right? And it can be traumatic. I think for me, COVID was a huge time of wake up. I was like, suddenly I saw the Empress wasn't wearing any clothes, and I'm like, holy fuck! And it was pretty traumatic. Um, I had a 10-year struggle with insomnia, like to the point where I was leaving videos for my family on how to keep things running for my employees, like not suicide notes, but just like I feel like I'm dying. And my insomnia was definitely I'm pretty sure it was trauma related, like the church stuff, going through a really, really harsh divorce with Jen, um, and betrayal and all this thing. Because hyper alertness is what stops you going to sleep, I think. And it's like the fight or flight. Like I feel like if you're a caveman and there's a bear at the cave, you're by design are not supposed to sleep to protect your family. But when
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no when there's no bear at the door, then you should be able to sleep okay. And I think when you can't sleep, it's like you're constantly at that awareness of like there's a bear at the door all the time. Um, and your brain just doesn't shut off, right? Because like really light sleeping, you wake up at almost anything. Um, and yeah, it was hell. Fucking 10 years trying to be a good dad, trying to run a business with 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night. Um, yeah, it was
So have you
awful.
figured it out? Are you sleeping better now, or?
Well, I tried everything. I tried natural. I tried therapy. I tried therapy on psilocybin. I tried, working through all my trauma. I tried all this stuff. And honestly, my sister, who's in England, I don't know what she is, some professional. But anyway, she said, "Have you ever tried what's this drug called? Martazepine. It's an antidepressant, but if you take a very small dose of it, um, it has sleep benefits." And I tried like uppers as well, like, because when you have an ADD brain, like for me, if I smoke marijuana, for most people they get sleepy and dozy. I get hyper, so the opposite seems to happen for me.
Oh wow.
I'm like bouncing off the walls, singing songs, like I'm like life of the party, and everyone else is like passed out. So I know some people who have that kind of ADD. I don't think it's a disorder. Maybe it's called AD. Anyway, and they take like uppers, which makes you more, and it actually calms them down. It has the opposite effect than what it does to a lot of people. I tried that. It was freaking awful, man. It was like speed. Um, so anyway, eventually my sister said, "Why don't you try this?" I'm like, "Oh, sure. I've tried everything." And I went to the doctor and said, "Are you up for prescribing this?" And she's like, "Well, it's such a small dose. It's not going to hurt you. And it's non-addictive." And my drug of choice, if I was a druggie, would be lorazepam. Oh my God, I love that shit.
Yeah,
But I understand how dangerous it is, so I keep it at arm's length because it's so highly addictive. But man, it just switches off all of the chatter in your brain
yeah,
beautifully.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you, man. That mental peace. That's what I get sometimes from the high of when I take my hemp for sleep, and it's like it's nice, man.
Yeah, the chatter, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I found this martazepine. I snap off. It's the tiniest little bit. It's like 15 milligrams, and it doesn't make me feel groggy in the morning. And it doesn't knock me out like a heavy drug. It just allows me to fall asleep, and then when I wake up to go to the bathroom, my brain doesn't immediately kick in. It just gives me that little bit of grogginess, enough just to let me slide back into sleep again.
Oh, good,
And
good.
I'm trying to tune it out of my life. The only side effect is it makes me feel thirsty, which is good. I drink more water. It just gives me dry
Yeah,
mouth. But it doesn't make me feel like I was addicted to NyQuil for friggin' years, and that stuff's awful for you. It's like terrible. And that makes you feel super groggy in the mornings, but yeah, I'm
yeah.
grateful now.
That's the problem with hemp, right? Like you feel groggy through it the whole day,
Oh, really?
and
Like
so what I
foggy?
do, yeah. So what I do it every other day now, and I only use it because my wealthy client is creates a lot of anxiety for me. So on my nights, I take collagen with melatonin in it, and then I
Uh,
take this sleep restore stuff I get from the health food store, and it's got like all the stuff that's good for sleeping, all the natural herbs.
yep.
I forget what, like lemon balm and all that stuff. And then I take magnesium. Magnesium's kind of like, if you're not taking the magnesium, take it, man. Like magnesium's really, really helped me.
Cool. Yeah, I should get back into it. My wife's she's like a witch. She's got all of these potions.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we got so many. If there was an apocalypse, we would have the local drugstore. Like you'd be coming to our house to get your vitamins. We have
yeah, yeah, yeah.
buckets of them. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to get that magnesium. Anyway, magnesium's worked for me, and it's been great. So it's amazing how we're being shortchanged by our government, right? They've totally into our food supply, and that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to Israel, right? Like they're probably doing less tampering on their food. And I just remember in 2019 how I felt when I
Mm.
came back, and then I had to come back here and eat our food. It's like night and day. It's like I don't know. It's intentional, man. They're trying to strip us from nutrition, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
make us all kinda groggy and not our full
and
potential.
sick. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
100%. People are waking up to it though, I think. Some people are.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a ride, eh? Since 2020. Like, I mean, this is another podcast, vaccination. I mean, I never got it, so
No,
but
neither
I,
did
I
I.
still I still got the spike proteins though, because I get my blood checked from my naturopath once a year. So I've been taking nattokinase and curcumin and bromelain to try and get rid of the spike proteins. I mean, my blood's probably not saturated like people that have gotten the jab, but still, I still get it through. I think a word called shedding, right? So if you haven't done that, Joby, I would get that done. Get your blood checked and see whether you got spike proteins, and so
Got a I got a friend in town who's, you know, every conspiracy, like, even the other day, I'm like, "How's it going, Mike?" He's like he's now into the Sasquatch.
yeah, yeah.
Flat flat Earth and, but sweet guy, and, he's going through the sovereignty, process. Actually, he's got a podcast that we did with him, and he just wants to edit it a bit, but have you heard of that, the sovereignty movement?
No.
Yeah, it's where you break away from the world's monetary kind of system and like taxes and all of that type of thing. Become sovereign, your own sovereign. And there's a whole
Oh,
course you can go through. And some people have been put into jail for it. Some people have been left alone. Like there's a guy in Vancouver he doesn't have a doesn't have a license plate on his car, and I don't know how he does it. It's crazy. But yeah, my buddy doesn't pay taxes. It's like, because taxes were implemented in the war to pay for the debt of war, and they've just never gone away.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so
Huh.
property tax is what pays for your roads maintenance and services and all that, but income tax was like only brought in to pay the debt of war, and it's just never gone away. So it's basically just paying to line the government's pockets. And
Holy
so
shit, I didn't know that. Wow.
folks that are sovereign are hard against that, and then they're breaking free from that, which is anyway. And so Mike is I talked to him the other day, my friend, and he's going to get his all of the heavy metals pulled out of his blood,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard
and
about
it's
that.
super expensive. He says it's crazy though. Like he can watch the see-through like line that's going through his body, and it's like cycling your blood. So it's bringing it out, cleaning it, pumping it back into you. He's like, I can watch these big like gloobs of stuff coming out of my veins.
Holy shit! Wow, that's crazy, man. So that's
Yeah.
in us if we're not doing it. Fuck.
Well, yeah, all the heavy metals from jet fuel and all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Cloud
yeah, I
seeding.
know. All the cloud seeding, yeah, all the chemtrails and all that stuff. Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
Pissed me
Oh,
off.
oh boy, we're treading on some. That's another hour. We should.
Dude, I could do this every week. I could do this every weekend. I mean, how many times do you do the podcast?
I try to put it out every Tuesday.
Okay.
So let's
Okay.
jump
Well,
on
if you
again, and we'll hit the road with conspiracies right at the start.
yeah, well, if you're ever looking for somebody, like I mean, I just wanted to just have a beer with you and look at the stars, but yeah, I love this, man. I'm like, Abby, let's do a podcast with your brother, man. And she's obviously busy with my sister, but I was just like, I love this, man. Like, this is
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
cool. Like, you know why? Because I used to listen to what was it called? Coast to Coast on 590 at midnight. Sometimes I couldn't sleep. And they would talk about anything like aliens, governmental control, everything, right? And it's like, because that was getting around, the government doesn't like it anymore. They got rid of it off the air. It's like, you fuckheads, man.
Yeah, I
So
know.
now we almost have to start our own movement of these podcasts so that we have our own coast to coast. So I love what you're doing. It's great.
Yeah, anything goes, right?
You're like
Um,
a George Norrie there, Joby. You're a George Norrie.
I just.
George Norrie's the guy who ran it, right? Coast to coast. So,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just the same thing, right? Like Abigail and I were saying ages ago, we should do a podcast, and she's like, nah, I don't know. And then I just classic me. I'm like, yeah, signed up for the software. We're starting on Tuesday. See you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see you being another Joe Rogan, and I love Joe Rogan. Honestly, honestly, and,
Uh,
it's good. Yeah, I love it. Like, I actually, before I started my social work career, I did a radio broadcasting seminar, and I thought I wanted to be like a radio guy,
oh, cool.
and I think I could do it too. Like, I've got
Yeah.
like, the personality for it, and so do you. And it's like, I love this shit. It's great. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, starting a podcast is like so easy and so cheap. You know, it's just a matter of having the balls to do it. And there is a lot. It's like trying to make it in music. It's like there's a lot of fish in the sea. But Abigail keeps reminding me because I have this tendency to want to scale things. It's just the way my brain works. Like even when I was working for Varsity Fence, right? Like I took it from 6 guys working to 12 guys working just because I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Abigail, she keeps telling me to pump the brakes, just enjoy it. Just let it evolve. And I need to hear that because sometimes I can just, all right, let's rock, let's make this thing go to the moon. And,
Hey, I love that about you.
yeah, I guess there's a part of it that's good, and I'm learning in my older age, having this internal chatter to be okay with who I am. It takes a long time to be okay with who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like
Yeah.
it's
And,
Michael, Michael Jackson says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh man, so you're not making any more music anymore these days, or I guess you're too tied up with family and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. Like that is a trait that I have. Like if I don't see the purpose in it, I'm I just drop it. It's weird. It like I've never
Oh, makes
been.
sense. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, maybe yes, a lot of people think that's crazy. Like I'm just. Yeah, I mean I'm learning to do things just for the pleasure of it. Like
Fantastic. That's why
and
we're here. Yeah.
I have to learn that though. It doesn't come naturally to me. Like I had to learn how to jam, just jam and that call it good there. I got to always be, what are we doing? We're writing a song. Let's write a song. There's always this mission. So yeah, when I realized that the career in music wasn't going to happen, I just put all of that energy into building my renovation company, Little Star.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so as long as there's a creative outlet, I'm okay. And I just drop music and I broke my wrist now on this wrist, so I can barely get my hand over the guitar fretboard.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've got like a plate in there.
Oh
Um,
gee.
so yeah, I barely write, and honestly, I kind of have this interesting relationship with music because I was so obsessed with writing music that it actually kind of triggered some of my insomnia. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night with lyrics. I'd like think about like I couldn't rest until the song was as good as it could be. And so I got really obsessive over it so I kind of hold it at arm's length now because I'm afraid of getting kind of pulled into that vortex.
Yeah. 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 Oh,
Yeah.
that's great, Joby. You're so like, yeah, it's a Christian term, but you're so into like maximizing your time, like abundant life. You just like all in, and I love that, man. I think that's the way we all need to be. You
Yeah.
could be, you know,
Well,
it's
well
gonna
my
be
dad
interesting.
was,
It's
yeah, I
gonna be
mean, I think
interesting to see. Go
to
ahead. Go
what?
ahead.
Interesting to what?
It's gonna be interesting to see where your life goes because I think
Not
you
much of
you
it
could be
left.
yeah. Well, yeah, and it's just like I could see you being like a motivational speaker just in how you live your life. It's pretty awesome.
Maybe.
But
Um,
that's what your podcast is, right? Like it's creating an avenue of venting of things that people, I feel like a part of me is healed just seeing you, right? And just talking about things and it's great. It's fantastic, so this this podcast, like I heard your podcast with Abigail and my sister, and I was just like I loved it.
oh,
Absolutely
really?
loved it.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
and Yeah, that's what drew me to contact you, and it's like, man, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of the podcast. I want to reconnect with Joby, and then and hopefully he's not too mad at me. And then I just saw your sister, and it was like I never wanted the night to end. It was so cool. It was like I felt like me again. It was like, oh
Oh,
my god, yeah, it's awesome, man.
yeah. Well, it's like reconnecting with parts of you because your life is, well, trauma shuts off parts, right? So then you end up being kind of like a smaller person because you've closed all these doors. You're like you're sequestered because of
Yeah,
life, and it's nice to be able to open that back up again and
yeah,
and 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 like zoom out of the painting and like reconnect with those. My dad, I always think the best wisdom you're ever going to get is talking to a dying person. And my dad, he said two things before he died. He was like, like everyone has the I wished, right? Well, a lot of people do. A lot of people don't. I've actually been watching this YouTube channel where this guy interviews people in their 80s and 90s and just
yeah,
asks them, if you were your younger self, what would you do different? And most of them say the same thing. It's like, live in the moment, enjoy the moment, don't be afraid, it'll all work out. Don't get hung up on finance. You'll get provided for as long as you're willing. But my
mm,
dad was a very paranoid uh man. Like he was just always afraid of failing. And so
yeah,
he would dream big, but he would shut his dream down because he's like, yeah, that's not going to work. We can't afford to do it. That's too risky. And I think the two regrets he had was I wish I'd risked more
really,
and worried less about money. He was constantly worried about um he had this strange paranoia that he was going to get caught by the police, which is really weird because he did everything by the book. He said the strange paranoia of like government and like get in trouble. So it's like I think it's because his dad was a bit of a crook. His dad was That's a whole nother story. His dad was an incredible man, but like a real, you know, backroom deal guy. And I think
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
dad maybe grew up with some like childhood trauma around like afraid that the cops were going to burst in at any moment.
right,
But
yeah,
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 he
yeah,
kind of like sequestered his life into this like small, because he was just always like, yeah, this would be great, but we can't do that. And it's like, holy shit, you don't want to be dying and regret that you just didn't seize life. Like that would just be a horrible thing to be, right? Um,
yeah. I love that question. Like what do you want in your tombstone? And this is what I want. Kyle gave his most precious thing, his time. That's what I want on my tombstone. And it's like, yeah, I think that's the most precious thing we have is our own time. So a lot of people will like, let's say you go to a birthday and you don't bring a gift, for whatever reason, but you're there. That person having the birthday shouldn't be offended because you're giving your most precious thing. But
wow.
a lot of people don't understand that, and it's like it's
Mhm,
stupid to me.
mhm,
You know?
mhm.
Uh,
Cool, bro. Well, maybe we should wrap up. We done in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
really?
Yeah.
You see, time. Yeah, I could
Thanks
do
for
this
giving
all
me
day,
your
man.
precious time.
Likewise, man. But we got to
Yeah.
do this again, man. Anytime you need somebody to for a podcast or just whatever, man. Even Dark Nights of the Soul, we gotta start talking and connecting, man. Because I fucking missed you, man. So I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad. I'm hoping that we're back. I'm hoping
Yeah.
we can get back to where we once were.
Yeah. Let's try and physically connect in
Yeah,
person.
sounds good. I'll
I want you to make me a grilled cheese.
just don't make sure Belinda's not there.
Squeeze it. All right, bro. So let's stay in touch. Love you,
Yep.
man.
Love you too.
Cool.
All
All
right, man.
right. Later, bro.